What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're a Champion Leon theme. We haven't done a character for a little while now. I think I've got like Chairman Rose, Hop, and maybe a couple of the rivals left. So anyway, Leon's got a couple of teams you can use. It varies depending on your starter. So this is the exact team that I shall be using in this video. If you people want to check me on Twitch, that's where I do all my live streams. I'd love you to come there and follow. Link in the description, twitch.tv/PIMPNITE. Now, today's video, right, I'm going to be using exactly Leon's team, and I'm going to be using the exact moves that Leon uses on his Pokemon too. Now, I put my own EVs, obviously, there, and own natures, and I put my items on them too. And that's a pretty good battles with this team. This was definitely the best battle they had, and I hope you enjoy. This is the battle against PIMPNITE T05. This one was on my Twitch stream, and we got a Lycanroc lead, and I've got Mr. Mime. So probably, Mr. Rhyme, not Mr. Rhyme. Sorry, I just had to get one just in time. So this one, right, was the exact set. We got T-Dance, Psychic, Freeze Dry, and Thunderbolt. I gave this one max speed and max special attack, tip, and nature. Now, it wasn't the greatest matchup in the world for Mr. Rhyme, but, you know, I thought I could get maybe, like, live like one hit, then attack it, and maybe take it up. So it's going to be setting the Stealth Rock up there, maybe expecting a swap, which I nearly did, and Lycanroc's going to take some big damage from that Psychic. So Psychic is a 2-hit KO. I can go for another Psychic and hopefully take out the Estelle Rock. Now, we've got the Lycanroc going for the Estelle Rock here. I think I just said take out the Estelle Rock. I meant take out the Lycanroc. Estelle Rock, Lycanroc, Rock, they all sound the same. So I'm going to eat my Citrus Berry. That's the item I gave my Mr. Rhyme. And I'm going to go for a second Psychic, and that's going to take out the Lycanroc, people. Now, the good thing about that was, right, I didn't actually lose the Pokemon, and I've actually got a pretty good move to use against the incoming Inteleon. Now, I'm thinking right here, okay, they're probably going to go for a Snipe Shot, right? I'm confident I can live a Snipe Shot if it doesn't crit me. If it does crit me, Mr. Rhyme is going to definitely go out of time, and he's going to be fainting, right? So we got a Snipe Shot here. It doesn't crit me, which is really good. And now Mr. Rhyme can go for the Freeze Dry, which is going to be super effective against the Inteleon. Almost taking out one shot. It was very, very close, but I was really happy with that. Like, Mr. Rhyme almost took out like a third of the opponent's team, which is, you know, really, really nice there. So Inteleon can basically outspeed me and use any move and take Mr. Rhyme out, go for another Snipe Shot. They took a little while to make their move here, but I don't know, maybe they're eating a bit of popcorn or something like that, or watching the TV. But Mr. Rhyme is going to go down, and that's my first Pokemon down. That's okay, though. I was actually really happy with the start. So then I thought, okay, there's an Inteleon on the field. Why don't I send my Inteleon in? So this Inteleon's moves were kind of funny, right? So let's have a look. The first two moves are all right, but then it has Mud Shot and Tearful Look. I was like, what? At least you can hit, like, I mean, at least if you could, I'm not allowed to Dynamax, so I'm like, okay, it's just a bad move that's got it anyway. It's got Tearful Look. So we got the Inteleon setting up a Light Screen, which is doing, I'm like, oh no, I hope I take it out with Mud Shot, and Mud Shot takes out the Inteleon, which is nice there. So I don't know if they had any other moves to even, like, do much damage to me. Maybe they had like Dark Pulse or just a coverage type move. I was confident I could definitely win. So here we got the Venusaur coming up. There's not a lot I can do against the Venusaur. I mean, I could go for a Tearful Look, but I was like, nah, I don't want to waste that Inteleon because it's very fast, and there is a Pokemon there I might need to use it against. So going to Aggie Slash now. Now the Aggie Slash, oh, I forgot to say the EVs on the Inteleon. That was a max speed and max special attack set too, tip and nature. Exactly the same as the Mr. Rhyme. So I'm going to get put to sleep by the Venusaur, which is going to be a bit of a pain here. And I've got King Shield, Shadow Ball, Sacred Sword, and Flash Cannon. That was the set they put on. I ran this one as max health and max special attack, and I gave it a life orb, so it's pretty close to the usual Aggie Slash, you know, set you'll see. So Venusaur's going to swap out. We've got the Cinderace sliding in here. This is a really, really problem Pokemon. I do have my Inteleon, like, still, so I'm thinking that's basically the reason why I saved my Inteleon and didn't keep it against the Venusaur, right? So all I can do here is just see, I can't really swap out into its Cinderace. It's a very hard swap to swap into this Pokemon. So I was like, I might be able to wake up and get a King Shield, right? That'll be like super, super nice. And then maybe I could plan my attack from there, maybe swapping or staying, right? Or I might be able to go into Blade form and do some damage. So we got the Pyro Ball here. Unfortunately, I'm going to stay asleep. And Pyro Ball is going to demolish me in one shot. Nothing I really could have done there. It was a very, very difficult swap in. Like, you know, Cinderace is a great Pokemon. It's also got Life Orb too, so that damage is going to be, like, it's going to be really big damage, whatever swaps in. So I've got my Haxorus here. I was like, well, Haxorus should do okay against the Cinderace. I actually want to take this Pokemon out. So this set is max speed and max attack. A lot of this team was just all offensive, right? I mean, the bulkiest there was, like, the Aggie Slash and with the first 4 Pokemon. So with this set, I just went for Earthquake. It was max speed and max attack. I ran Jolly Nature on this one, and I gave it Parasol Berry as the item because the move it's got on there, the Dragon type move, is Outrage. So that'll stop my confusion for one turn, or for one moment, right? So we got the Earthquake there on the Venusaur. It does like, it's about a 3 it goes, so that's pretty good. The light screen's going to wear off, and that's good. So all my special attackers that I've got left are not going to be affected by that. So now I've got Outrage. The only problem with the Outrage is like, they've got a Fairy type Pokemon, so I know that I'm going to be, as soon as I do take this Venusaur out, I am going to be, my Haxorus is going to go, right? There's nothing I can pretty much do, but I want to get rid of this Pokemon because it's very bulky, and I really don't want any of my other Pokemon, like, put to sleep, and they may even, they could have G-Maxed the Venusaur then too, so I just want to do some hard damage to it. Speaking of which, we got the Zacian coming in here. It's going to get a +1 in attack, and this is a very, very scary Pokemon. I was, like, wondering how I'm going to get around it, right? So I'm locked into the Outrage, obviously. I'm going to get outsped anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's got, like, you can have access to, Play Rough, Behemoth Blade, Sword Dance. It could set off me. There wasn't much I could do. Now we got the Play Rough here, and Play Rough is almost certainly going to take me out in one shot. It's a Zacian, right? There's not much I could have done. So down goes my Haxorus. So now I'm thinking, okay, there's only one Pokemon I can swap in here, which is the Charizard. Now on this team, I was only allowed to Dynamax or G-Max a Charizard. I wasn't allowed to Dynamax any of the other Pokemon. So I wasn't allowed to do any actions that Leon would, wouldn't do, as in that sort of stage. People were roasting me in like the comment section on my stream saying me and Leon have the same, direction. Directions are pants, as you would put it. I didn't even know what that term actually meant until like people actually told me, I just would say I'm bad at directions. Anyway, so we got the G-Max Charizard. This one is timid nature, and once again, it's a sweeping Pokemon. So his whole team was just, virtually sweepers. So max attack and max special attack. And the moves on the Charizard, I think we had Fire Blast, Solar Beam, Air Slash, and I can't remember. The other one will come up on the screen anyway. This is the usual Charizard sets. So Zacian actually stays in here. They didn't have a lot of options either. They didn't want to swap into a Charizard. Behemoth Blade does a heap of damage considering how much Charizard resists that. So it does 3/4 damage to me. I'm going to go for the G-Max Wildfire there, and that is most definitely going to take the Zacian out in one shot and put the fire on the field, which is going to be really, really handy, right? Now, there was one Pokemon I was a little bit worried about too, depending on what the set was going to be. So Zacian's out. That's great. That was a real problem Pokemon. Now we've got the Cinderace coming in, and I know there's a good chance it's going to outspeed me here. Now, my Charizard can go for a max Airstream. That'll be Stab, and that'll enable me to outspeed it the next turn. But if I'm not able to withstand the attack from the Cinderace, then, that's not even going to be a thing. So I'm up at the moment just by one Pokemon, but I have G-Max. So usually when you G-Max or you Dynamax, you want to take a couple of Pokemon with you because your opponent's probably going to be able to do the same, right? Unless you got some, some really good swap-ins or some really good stall tactics to get around that. So in the end here, I sort of knew deep down it would be, G-Max Cinderace. So we got the G-Max Cinderace. This thing is probably just going to have like a coverage move to take me out. Just anything, right, that could, possibly take me out. So we got the Max Darkness here. We got the Libero, and there's no way Charizard is going to be able to live that one. I'm assuming that it's just coming off like Sucker Punch. That's a great move to run on the Cinderace. And Charizard is going to go down there, so nothing I could have done there, at all with my Charizard. Now I've got Inteleon left. And that's that's going to be a Pokemon that could do some pretty good damage there, to the Cinderace, right? And I've also got my Dragapult left as well. So I thought, let's swap in my Inteleon against the Cinderace and see how much I can do with my Snipe Shot, right? I didn't expect to take it out, but I thought I could get a decent chunk of damage against this thing because Inteleon just... it's got some pretty good speed itself, and I'm not sure what they're running on this one, if they're running Adamant or they're running Jolly, right? I wasn't really sure what they could be running. They're both very fast Pokemon too, but with that extra added bulk there's no way even a crit would take this Pokemon out. I was thinking for a while what I should do here. Should I maybe try and bait out a move, then go into Dragapult, because it's a ghost type, right? But now I'm thinking, okay, they'll probably just... I'd say they'll probably just go for Max Darkness again. They won't go for a fighting type move. Like, it was a really big risky play there to go into a fighting type move there, on the Cinderace. So I went for the move, and they were still deciding. I thought I took a long time to make my move and thinking about that. So go for the Snipe Shot. I do outspeed, and I don't get a crit, which sucks. They went for the Max Knuckle there. I was like, dang it. I could have swapped that in then, but it was a very risky play there. Like, it could have gone south really bad. They could have looked at my team and thought, okay, Well, he's got an Inteleon left, and the other Pokemon is a Dragon Ball. There's a good I can't use a Fire type move, right? I could use a Dark type move, and that'll hit both of them, so that'll be good. But if it doesn't take it out, I might have to go for a Fighting type move. So it was quite risky there for me to swap Dragon Ball in. So the last Pokemon, obviously, is a Dragon Ball, and I ran this as a Choice Spec set. Now, this was a Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, and Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath was the dragon move that it got. I was like, man. So in this stage, I had to go for my strongest stab here, which is my Shadow Ball. And they still had one other Pokemon left. So I had to look at what Pokemon they had left as the last Pokemon to decide what move to go for, right? And I really wanted to go for Stag because that would be the most, highest base power. On this set, I ran this one as a timid Dragapult with max speed and max special attack. Like, all of them pretty much built like that. So go for the Shadow Ball, and that is just enough to take out the Cinderace, and Cinderace is going to go down. So that was really, really nicely. I'd say that would have done at least, maybe a little bit more damage than that, but Choice Spec's making it a lot, right? It would have been nice to get a crit on Talon, but, it did the job anyway. It worked. So the last Pokemon is the Gallade here. I'm like, okay, well, I can definitely one-shot this thing. Unless it's got, like, a Focus Sash, right, I could be in a bit of trouble. And then they outsped. It was Choice Scarf. I was like, dang, son. And we got the Zen Headbutt there, and thank goodness I do not get flinched by that. Now I can fire off the Choice Spec's Shadow Ball against the Gallade, and Gallade is going to go down in one shot, and that, my friends, is the first battle. A very, very close battle there, taking it right down to the last two Pokemon, and the last two moves used by each Pokemon as well. Thank you for the battle too, and let's get on to the second game. This one was against Poncho, and man, that's a cool trainer cut. Like, you've got the Isle of Armor Wailord, or one of the Wailords there, and you're standing on top of the Wailord. I mean, that'd be nice to stand on top of a Wailord and do that little pose, right? So the first Pokemon they got is the I almost called Obstagoon another Pokemon. I'm not even gonna say. You got to guess what that Pokemon was. So this starting thing with Mr. Ryan worked pretty well in all of my battles. So I just went for the Tita Dance this time. So let's see if we can get a Confusion going, right? Because if this Obstagoon hits self in Confusion, that'll do a good chunk of damage, then I might proceed to be able to take it out. Now, Obstagoon is actually going to hit itself in Confusion turn 1. It doesn't do a lot, but it's, it's a start, I guess. So we got the Flame Orb on this, and this is going to do a lot of damage. Now I'm thinking, well, I could swap out Boar, I could get some extra damage with the Freeze Dry, right? So I went for the Freeze Dry and thought that's the best option. They actually swapped out of the Obstagoon, and they didn't want any part of that Confusion Tita Dance at all. Now, as soon as I looked at their team in the team preview, I seen Porygon too, right? So you guys know what my team is, right? You know the sort of capacity that it has for damage. There's not a lot of room there to boost my moves, like, other than saying I went into Dynamax or something like that. But Charizard really can't boost his moves at all, and I can't Dynamax my other Pokemon. So there was only a certain amount of damage that I could possibly do to a Pokemon, right? And when you're versing a Porygon too, it's very, very bulky. It's got access to recover. It's not like I could just, whip out a Toxic, you know what I mean? So it was difficult. Any really, truly bulky Pokemon like this would be a big problem. Like Toxapex would have been another. There's quite a few Pokemon that really walled this team. So we got a Trick Room, bulky, Porygon 2. That's usually what they are. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And we got Tri-Attack here. Tri-Attack's is the main stab there. And it's actually going to give me a burn, which kind of sucks. But at least I was a special attacker, so it didn't affect my, offense too much. My goal here was to basically try and stall out the Trick Room and maybe get, like, I don't know, like a special defense drop with Psychic. That was all I could really do. I get the crit, unfortunately, but for me, it didn't take it out. I would have loved to actually take the Porygon 2 out there. Since the Trick Room is up, I can just keep spamming Recover at this point. I was actually trying to think how to get around this Porygon 2, right? And then I'm thinking maybe if I do enough damage, I might have to send in Charizard here to just pop off my G-Max just to get rid of this thing. Because all it was doing was stalling, right? So there's really nothing I could do. And I didn't have, like I said, I only had X amount of, capacity to do damage. And, like, a normal type is only weak to, like, fighting type moves. And, I look at the moves that I've got already on my Pokemon. There's not a lot to work with there. So go for another Psychic, hoping to get a special defense drop. It's not happening on my Mr. Rhyme now. And I'm getting closer and closer to Porygon 2 to be able to take my Rhyme out. So it's going to go for the Tri-Attack. That was the final one, and down goes Rhyme. Nothing I could have really done there. I just have to get Porygon within, like, a certain amount of health, then I can come in Revenge KO, right? That was the plan here with my Haxorus. So Once again, with Haxorus, right, it's not like I could pop up a Sword Dance or a Dragon Dance or anything like that, to get around this thing. So I had to go for an Outrage to take it out. Now, the Porygon 2, probably sensing a nice, hard physical attack, is going to be swapping into the Ditto. Now, maybe they thought I might try and set up on it, so it was a good thought, but Leon's doesn't have any set-up moves on it, Haxorus. So the good thing about this ride is I'm going to be able to go for an Outrage, and Ditto is a very scary Pokemon too, and I'm going to be going for that Outrage and hoping to take it out. However, it's going to live on 1 health with the Focus Sash, and it's a Focus Sash Ditto. So now it's a speed tie. It's like, man, here we go again. So obviously I'm thinking, right, well, Ditto's probably going to go for an Outrage. I won the speed tie, and I'm going to take that Ditto out. So that was really good getting rid of that Pokemon. So say if I had a really good Pokemon, that was sweeping through the team, that Ditto could easily come in, copy its stats, and take me out, then I'd be at a disadvantage. That's why Ditto is such a great Pokemon, especially in this generation, right? So we got the Parasol Berry healing me off of my confusion, and now we got the Porygon 2. You know what I really want to do? I want to do a Porygon 2 team, like Porygon 2 and Porygon Z, and then probably have the shiny counterparts too for like a Porygon evolution team. I reckon that'd be really cool. That's one I really want to do. The other one I actually want to do is a Poliwag evolution team too. Like, they're 2 ones I want to do in the near future. I don't know. It sort of bugs me that I haven't done them yet. So, I went into Aegislash expecting the Ice Beam, which I was correct about. Now I'm thinking, what are they going to be able to do to me here? Do they have a Dark-type move? Like, I know I can run Dark Pulse, for those like Ghost-type Pokemon. Normally, it's got a normal-type move. Porygon 2, it'll have Ice Beam always, and usually have something like Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, those, or like a Dark Pulse, or Psychic too. They're sort of like the moves like a sweeping Porygon Z will have, right? Now, Porygon Z has some very, very nice offense there. It's got the download too, and now it's going to have Max Darkness, unfortunately. That's very, very unfortunate for my Aegislash. Aegislash is going to get one-shotted again, man. I thought Aegislash on this team were like super, super handy. Out of all the battles I had with Leon's team, it just did nothing. Like, usually it was just like a meat shield, pardon the pun there. It's a shield and a sword, but yeah, that's just what happened to it. Like, a lot of the time, like, usually I tried to swap it into Sponge a couple of attacks, and then, it would get wrecked. So we got the Dragon Bolt here. I did a little bit of a swapsy there with the normal type move, a little bit of bait there with the Charizard, the Haxorus, and that went really, really nicely. So now we got another Max Darkness there, and Dragon Bolt, unfortunately, is going to go down in one shot. I almost swapped out there again, but it was difficult, right? The great thing was, right, I actually got a Dragon Breath Paralyzed, which is really, really good, and it did a pretty good amount of damage too, to say the least. So Porygon Z is going to come out of its Dynamax, which is very, very important. I needed to stall that out, and I feel like I did a pretty good job there. I did lose Aegislash in the meantime and Dragapult, but, things could have been, like, really worse there. So now it's the time to go for my G-Max Charizard, and I've got to try and get back into the game, because all I've really taken out is, one Pokemon, which was the Ditto, right? There's still a lot of Pokemon to go. Like, there's that Porygon 2. Like, how am I going to get around that? And there's a sweeping Porygon Z, and we got the Obscurn, of course, from the start of the battle as well. So Charizard can go for a Max Airstream and go for a G-Max Wildfire. I thought to go for the G-Max Wildfire to get those flames on the field. I felt like Porygon 2 was definitely going to be coming in here after I got disposed of the, Porygon Z, right? That's what I'd do, right? I'd try and do some, stall out the Charizard. So now, instead of swapping the Porygon 2, we got the Tauros, and then I had a sinking feeling and thinking, oh man, this Charizard could get outsped. It could be a revenge KOing like, Tauros. Tauros got some good bulk, got some good speed. It's got some moves that could possibly one-shot Charizard. And it's got the Rock Slide, man. There wasn't anything I could do there. I only had a couple of Pokemon left, and I just used my Dynamax, my G-Max then, so there was no point in me swapping out, right? And the same thing would have happened if I swapped it back in. So that was really bad for my Charizard. So Buffalo Bill's going to take a little bit of damage there from the Charizard's G-Max move. And now we're going to go into Inteleon. This is my critting set. The item I had on this one as well was Scope Lens, if you didn't know that already. I had the sniper ability too. So when I did get a crit, which was a very, very good chance happening there with the one stage from this and the one stage from the Scope Lens, it would do a lot of damage. So you got to hit Tauros with a pretty hard attack to one-shot it, right, if it's neutral damage. So Tauros is going to go down. I've taken a couple of Pokemon out, which is really good. Now we've got the Porygon 2. I'm like, oh, here we go again. So what I was praying here is if I could get a Snipe Shot crit, that would do so much damage. Now, there was a possibility the Porygon 2s could set up Trick Room, or it could just simply outright attack me with a Tri-Attack, right? Or it could just sense that I'm trying to take it out and go for another recover. So I got the crit on the Snipe Shot, which was great there, and they went for the Trick Room. The only good thing that came out of that right there is that Charizard's G-Max move that is still on the field, right? And that is finally going to take the Porygon 2 out. I was like, man, if I didn't have that, I just couldn't get through. This Leon team just didn't have enough damage output. So, we got the big Snorlax here as the last Pokemon reveal. And I thought for a moment, instead of attacking this, let's go for a tearful look and drop its stats a little bit, right? So Snorlax is going to go for the body slam, does a lot of damage. I went for the tearful look. I was a little bit sad and stuff like that. But Snorlax's attack and stuff did drop, which is really, really nice. It was a special thing. Not that they're running a special attacking Snorlax, because that wouldn't be, you know, nowhere near as threatening. So now swapping into Haxorus, I know that I can easily tank Snorlax's body slam now. I'm assuming it's going to probably be about a 3-hit KO around there. That's what I was hoping. And I could definitely take it out myself. So body slam does under half health like I knew it would. Unfortunately, I get paralyzed there, which really, really sucks. So now I've got Outrage in this one. I thought, if I go for Outrage now, nothing can swap into that Outrage that's not going to get hurt, right? And all of my other moves really weren't going to do too much damage. So I was expecting maybe a 2-hit KO with the Outrage. So I went for the Outrage here. We got the Snorlax going for the Iron Head, trying to flinch me now. I don't get flinched, but I get paralyzed. That right there basically sealed the deal with my Haxorus against Snorlax. I was like, no, there's no way I can take Snorlax out, you know, with one Outrage unless I get it like a crit run. So the next body slam is going to fail to take me out. Going for the Outrage now, I don't get paralyzed, and look at the amount of damage I would have done, right? So Snorlax is going to eat its berry, and it's going to heal a bit of its health back off there. But I believe I would have taken it out with the next Outrage, or it would have got very, very close. Then Inteleon simply could have come in there and cleaned up the Snorlax. So unfortunately there, I get paralyzed again, and Snorlax is going to take me out. That was so unlucky there. Like, those 2 paralysis really messed up my Haxorus. So all I've got left now is my Inteleon, which is on about a quarter health. I desperately need a sniper crit here to take Snorlax out. Snorlax is extremely bulky, like, you know, it's like bulky like Porygon 2, right? And I'll go for that one, and it does nothing. I don't even get a crit. So there you go, people. That's the second battle. Unfortunately, basically what lost me in the game there was the 2 paralyzers I basically played everything really well. Just, that's how it is sometimes. Hope you enjoyed both these battles, and I'll catch you maybe a Pokemon sweep in the next day or two. Peace out.